Hello everyone, Ken here with another episode of Virginia Dirt Pirate. I'm out here early this morning, following old roads again. I know where this one goes. This one goes to a site that I've been to a couple of times in the past. Haven't really had a lot of luck there, but it's a good looking site. Mostly what I've found is just junk, but it was old junk. A lot of iron and stuff on the ground. Also some brick and rock, and you could tell it was a pretty good site, pretty good sized site at one time. Evidence suggests that it was there probably mid to late 1800s, and it looks like it was probably lived in until around World War I, and then it looks like maybe people kind of kept on coming back there for a little while. There's a few things that were dropped, and then you have your typical modern trash there too. But I like the site enough where I figure it's worth going back and having another try. The last time I was there was with the CTX, and I now have the Manticore. Plus my technique has improved quite a bit since then, so interested to see what I might find today. Hopefully we'll have some good luck. First hit today is a 4-hole button. A lot of times these will say something on it. A lot of times they're military, but who knows. I am going to clean it up and see if it says anything on it. Decent signal anyway, so I'm going to dig it. It's a coin. Knowing this site, it could very well be an Indian. So let's see what it is. Can I figure it out? Let's see. Yep, it's an Indian. It is an Indian. Oh, excellent. Excellent. All right. Clean it up, see if I can get a date off it. Actually, I was wrong. It's a Wheatie. It might be 40. Might be a 1940. That's a lot newer than I thought. Okay. And the next find of the day is absolutely a musket ball. A nice one too. Nice dropped musket ball. It's a lot older than the Wheatie. Okay. Here's a mid to upper 60s in iron. We'll see what that brings us. Coin alert, I'm pretty sure. See if I can just kind of eyeball this one. I think it's probably a weedy. I can't tell yet. I can't tell. Oh, I think it might be an Indian. I think it's an Indian. Let me clean it up. Yep, it's an Indian. I think it says 1903, but I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to bring it back, clean it up, and look at it under the magnifying glass. Cool. Looks like another coin. And if this is a coin, then it's a nickel because it was a low. It was ringing low. Let's see if I can see what it is. I think it's a V. I think it might be a V nickel. Can't see because of the glare. Let me clean it up. Yep, it's a V nickel. And this one's a 1903 for sure. Maybe we got a legitimate coin spill here. Let's find out. Don't know what this is. I don't think it's a coin. It's about as thick as a coin. Rang up like a coin, but I don't think it's a coin. I am going to need to clean it up and figure out what it is. It is a hem weight, and that's a first. I've seen other guys find hem weights before, but it's a first for me. Interesting. Well, this is very cool. Just found this part of an old pocket knife. Has a ship on it. It says h.m.s. something. I can't make it out. I'll try to clean it up later. Has a little dude on the other side. Captain of the ship, maybe? I don't know. Definitely got to clean that up. Well, here's a halfway decent signal. Well, this is interesting. Looks like some kind of a badge. I'll clean it off, see if it says anything on it. You can hear the iron in the ground. A lot of it is buried in this mound. Well, this certainly looks very cool. I think it might be part of a powder flask. Might be. But I'm going to have to do some research on it when I get home. I don't know. It's hard to say. 3 bars down. I'm going to go ahead and dig it. Looks like maybe a buckle of some kind. Yes, it does. Some kind of buckle. Hope that wasn't me that bent it. old road here kind of goes up the hillside. You can tell that this road hasn't been used in a long time. It was a fairly well-made road. You can tell at one time it probably had a lot of traffic. Well, all right. Time for the daily wrap-up. And wow, this site came roaring back. This site was a site that I really hadn't found much at before. I think I found one flat button and a full brass shotgun shell and some junk, and that was about it. But I knew it was an old site. I could tell just by the junk that I was finding that it was an old site. So today we found all kinds of stuff. The last time I was there, I had the CTX and it had the stock coil on it. Today I had the Manticore with the large coil, and it made a big difference. So starting with this is a skin from a powder flask, and this style, the ribbed or fluted style, was very common back during the Civil War. Very interesting find. Then we have the pocket knife. This is really interesting. This is a souvenir pocket knife from the Gilbert and Sullivan operetta, h.m.s. Pinafore, which came out in 1878. This has an embossed sailing ship on it, and then it says h.m.s. Pinafore. And the little dude on the back, his name is Ralph. And it would have said Ralph right there. Ralph was just a lowly sailor who the captain's daughter fell in love with in the play. Very interesting. I've never found a souvenir pocket knife before. And I found a lot of pocket knives over the past few years, but I've never found one like this. Very, very interesting. And next we have a pommel shield off of a McClellan saddle. This is also Civil War era. This is probably one of the ones from an outside contractor, I think. It's very lightly stamped. You can't even really read it on the front. You have to flip it over to see that it says 11-inch seat on it. This is from a McClellan saddle. It was designed by George B. McClellan, and they were used by the cavalry and I guess for the artillery also to a certain extent. From 1859 until sometime in the late 1800s, I'm not exactly sure when. But they would have gone on the pommel of the saddle, and it has a slot in it because the pommel would have had a slot in it too for a leather strap to go through, and that's where you would have strapped down your bedroll. Another very interesting find. And you have a bunch of these 4-hole buttons. Each of them say U.S. Army, and I'm not sure exactly how old they are. Probably World War I, Spanish-American War, sometime in that era. They're either shirt or underwear buttons. I'm not sure which. Some of the usual stuff, shotgun shells, shell casing, and then we have a very interesting musket ball. Very nice dropped musket ball. You can almost see a sprue mark on it. A sprue mark or sprue casting, that's left over from when the musket ball was made in the mold. And we found some coins today. The first one is a 1903 V-nickel. V-nickels were made from 1883 to 1913 when the Buffalo nickel came about. And also a 1903 Indian head penny, which the Indian heads were made from 1859 to 1909. And we have a wheat penny dated 1940. I think this one is kind of an outlier. probably dropped by a hunter digging through his pockets for shotgun shells or something. And we have a hem weight, which is a first for me. I've never found a hem weight before. I've seen other metal detectorists that have found plenty of hem weights, but I've just never found one before. Hem weights were used in the hems of dresses, women's dresses, to keep them from flying up. And they were also used in curtains as well. This one is a number 4. It's fairly large. I would say it was probably for curtains. And I would say this is sometime late 1800s, maybe turn of the century. Another first. Very interesting. And last but not least, a buckle. I'm not sure about this buckle. It looks fairly old. It's probably 1800s. I don't know whether it goes back to the Civil War or not. I looked through the books. I can't find one exactly like it. I don't have the best buckle books. I need to get some better ones. But either way, it was nice to find. I always like finding buckles. So anyhow, that'll do it for today. And if you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. And remember, dig it all, fill in your holes, and leave nothing but footprints.